This is a Munisee broadcast. Code Red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and have me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's gonna hit the eardrums. Uncle the Podcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name is Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here leads the star of the show, Uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Comedy Hour, and it's 264. Believe it is.
Is it? Yeah, that's
the right one.
Sure.
Sidekick.
Okay. I believe you. I'm not even going to check because I'm sure you're right. You typically
because it was 63 that was doing stuff.
We are live Friday night on Ocelli.com, as we always are. Glad to be back here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We've got people in the chat rooms at Ocelli.com, also at the chat rooms at our Twitch and YouTube channels. So I see Creative Accidents is there. He's saying, hey,
Crazy
guys.
Accidents, get on the phone. I want two right away.
Oh, Uncle, I see Crazy Accidents.
Yeah, I want him on the phone.
Well, he's
two on the phone right away.
I don't think he's on the phone, but he is in the Twitch chat, and he's got a rating for Top Gun 2 for us. Do you want to hear his rating?
He got a rating?
Yeah, he gives Top Gun 2 7 out of 10.
What was better, one or two? Crazy Accidents? And to that point of saying that rating, which is the best one? Crazy Accidents. Hello, Crazy Accidents.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know that answer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We were having a technical issue on the live stream sound. It wasn't working, but now it is. I think I know what happened there, but it is now working. So we fixed that, and I'm sure it's been working on Ocelli.com the whole time. But anyway, we got that in order. We were just saying that you're 7 out of 10 on your rating, Creative Accents, for Top Gun 2. I know, Uncle, you said you had wanted to talk about that this week, but
can't now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can talk to him if he ever got on the phone, and he can talk about it. But there is another one. If he's seen it, come in and have him talk a conversation about it. But he never gets on the phone. That Crazy Accidents. Now you're upset with Crazy Accidents. Yes, I'm upset because I want two right away.
Anybody who wants to call in can tonight. We're live. 319-527-5016. Call the show, or you can Skype in. Send Chuck, our producer, a message. He is Charles.Ocelli on Skype. Type him a message on Skype, and he'll bring you in. So don't call. Type to Charles.Ocelli on Skype. Or call 319-527-5016.
And just because I know Uncle loves to keep track of this kind of stuff, I had 4 calls tonight, Uncle. Aaron had 2. So now it's up to you.
Right away.
All right.
I can beat that right away once I get them people talking.
There you got this beat, huh? You got it in the bag, Uncle?
We know Jim is on the line.
Jim is on the line?
Jim, you want to get us the chairs?
Oh, yes. We will have to talk about that. So thanks are in order.
On this nice delivery, and we got them Saturday, I believe.
Big thank you to Jimmy James, who sent us chairs, gaming chairs. Yeah, they came
Saturday.
Yesterday. They came yesterday.
Oh, wait a minute.
They came yesterday, which was Thursday. I put them together yesterday, so we have them.
Well, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right, Thursday. So I'm losing track of what days these are.
We're not using the chairs right now. However, when we get our new podcast studio set up, we'll be using them over there. So
yeah, that's going to be over there. We have to organize it yet, and they still got to paint it. And that's the process. For this weekend, they're going to do that.
Yep. Yeah, we'll probably be doing some painting this weekend, prepping the room over there. We'll be using those chairs. And again, thank you, Jimmy. That was very kind of you to give us those chairs. That's very cool. And I'll post a picture on the Uncle Instagram of the chairs. I haven't yet, but I'm going to, so people can see them.
Yeah.
And check those out. So very cool.
Okay, now that we are on the air, let's have some callers. Kick them in. Let's go.
Right.
Get those callers ringing.
Right.
Hello.
Hey, just one more thing for you, Uncle. On my stream, I can see that you have listeners in Spain and Canada and the UK, and, of course, all over America. But just wanted to let you know, because I know you always want to know when foreign countries are listening, especially.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Spain, Canada, and UK. Those are the only nations outside of the U.S. I see.
Don't have to warm up yet. They'll give a call. Get ready on those rings.
Get ready on the rings. Yes, you can call it any time tonight.
You know, I didn't know there was an Omaha, Arkansas, but apparently there's a listener in Omaha, Arkansas. So,
all right, get him on the air. Get him on the air. Let's listen.
Never heard of that one.
I want to get him on the air.
Yeah, that's interesting. So out there in Omaha.
Hey, Omaha boy, get on your phone. Let's get talking. Call in.
We'll be glad to speak with you tonight. Well, we don't have anybody yet, Uncle.
What do you mean you don't have anyone yet? It's a happy hour. This is the happy hour.
Happy hour, yeah.
This is a comedy show. And then it should be flying. It should be flying right now.
Surely it's only a matter of time until somebody calls into the show, because, you know, this is the Uncle Show. We usually get somebody doing that. But for now, I'm going to, on the live stream for everybody watching, get a nice view of the live stream of the LAX runway, the airport in Los Angeles. Look at that. Look at those planes.
I saw a few planes go that direction this evening.
You're about to have a Skype caller, just so you know. Not quite there yet, but they're being rung now.
Oh, okay, cool.
See, they're ringing them.
Caller coming right up, Uncle. This is exciting. So I think I hear the caller there. Caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Greetings. Can you hear me?
Oh, Robin. Yeah, we hear you.
Robbie, where you been?
I've been up here on the island.
Oh, he's on vacation.
With Wilson, me and Wilson.
Oh.
Is that a Castaway reference? I
have you heard what happened last week?
Top Gun?
Yeah.
I've heard, but I didn't. I was looking for the audiobook on Audible, but it didn't seem to be on Audible book yet.
Oh, so you haven't seen it? Okay, we can't say
a good book.
You know, if it's last week, you were telling people that they had to listen to the movie.
Right.
But maybe they put it out on audiobook.
Maybe they'll put it on only book to listen to it.
Maybe.
Man.
We do have another aviation treat for you. I'm showing the LAX runway once again on the live stream. This is a thrill a second.
Is this dark now? Is this what it is now?
Yeah. This is live, Uncle. This is a live feed of.
Because when I
LAX.
went just the
I love those live feed
couple of
cameras.
hours ago, I saw planes go over that direction.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm
Over
sure
the
you see it all the time.
It goes that direction.
LAX, you probably got planes 24 hours a day moving in and out of there. Really quick, you know, you bring up the audiobook, Robin. I'll tell you something strange, and I don't know if Uncle or Robin will want to comment on this, but you know, there's a little bit of a privilege you get in the United States where you're, if you're considered blind, right? The government is willing to provide you with audiobooks for free, and. Yeah, so years ago, I was in that program. Now, I just recently reapplied for that program. They're giving me a hard time. Letting me in.
They want you to send in some type of doctor's note or something?
Yeah, I gave them proof.
You got a doctor's note, send it to them, and boom.
Well, that's the thing I gave them a government agency's declaration, right? And I actually gave them two government agencies' declarations that by law I'm blind, and still I am with a pending application, and they asked for more. They asked for more. More documentation, and I'm like, I don't know what else I'm supposed to give them.
They better not send you one of those CAPTCHA things where they force you to try to figure out what's what in between some pictures. That'd be rude.
Well, that's the thing is that part of the I found it kind of ironic because part of the way the application is printed is hilarious. It's printed in a really light font, which means if you're partially sighted, it's very hard to read. I'm not kidding. It's like gray on off-white. Oh man, I can hardly see it at all, and I'm like, how does anybody do this?
They're making it as hard as possible.
Yeah, yeah, and these are digital forms too. This isn't like somebody got the cheap paper and didn't use enough ink. I mean, this is a digital form. They should know better. And there's no option. I mean, you can make it larger, but there's no option to change your contrast or go to black mode or none of that. So it's really weird with the way
sign of the fall of the empire, I suppose.
Isn't it? Because, I mean, look, you buy audiobooks or you get on Audible, right? And you're entitled to a free audiobook every month or whatever, right? And all this kind of stuff. But I find it funny that that they used to be very free about this. I mean, back when I was a little kid, even they gave us records with a book. Literally, like a piece of vinyl with the book, and the only thing is you had to flip over the card and mail it back. Library of Congress provided that.
Oh, there you go. You know what I thought you were going to say, Chuck? I thought you were going to say that there was some service available that the government would send a person along with you to the movies, and they would whisper in your ear what was going on in certain scenes that you couldn't quite tell by hearing.
Well, no, but in New Jersey they used to give out a card that let blind people go to the movies for free with a guide.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
See,
yeah.
What happened? Why did you move, Chuck? There's your opportunity.
Oh no. They stopped that program, and believe me, the cost of living in Jersey wasn't going to make up for the movies. It wasn't going to be made up for with movies. I sure. Okay.
Aaron, I got a funny story today. I went to the bank, and you know how on your visuals here you have what's that colors, the test colors?
Oh yeah, the color bars that come up. Yeah,
the color bars. So I went to the bank today, and I go up to use the ATM, and there's all these color bars on the ATM. I'm like, oh crap, this machine's not working.
That's just the broadcast. What if Uncle came on right after that?
Oh, that would have been scary. I would have probably shit my pants.
Nobody touched the money. I would say nobody touched the money. It's in happy. It's in comedy hour.
That's like a strange brew when that arcade game starts talking to the.
Wait.
Have you guys ever seen that movie?
I have, but it's been a long time.
I think I've brought it up before.
That reminds me of the terrible movie. What is it? Maximum Overdrive that Stephen King directed. That was a disaster.
Here's the kicker, though. Is those bars? It was actually the Pride Month thing. My bank was celebrating Pride Month.
Oh, that's what it was supposed to be.
Well, it switched over to the others, images shortly after. But I was like, oh crap! I thought I wasn't able to use that machine.
So was it supposed to be a rainbow, but it ended up being the color bars instead of the rainbow?
Well, there was the rainbow plus a bunch of more that they seem to be keeping on adding different shades.
Very good.
But yeah, it was just kind of a comical. I laughed because it caught me.
Interesting.
But yeah, Uncle, I haven't seen Top Gun yet.
All right, then. Yeah, another one I have to wait to listen.
Sorry about that. Don't want to let you down in that regard, but.
Well, as long as you haven't seen it, I'm not saying anything about it.
We have it in Canada yet. You guys haven't sent it up to Canada quite yet. I'm not sure.
Oh, it's got to get up there. I don't know what's taking so long, but it needs to get there. That's all I know for sure.
It's in the mail.
Is that right, Uncle?
Yeah, they gotta have to work that. Everybody watches in the United States, then they probably get moved up there. That's probably how they work it. I don't know how they work it. Right, something like that.
It's only right that we get to see it first.
In my hometown, Creston, BC, which is a pretty small town of 10,000, 15,000 people at the time, we had one theater, and we would always have to wait a certain amount of time after the big screens in the big cities got them, because they'd probably get the leftover CD or whatever would get sent around.
Whoa!
That's Henry here.
Whoa! Are you pumping some weights?
We're having an emergency over here. The Uncle background just fell.
Oh,
Uncle, that actually looks kind of cool.
Henry's not.
Oh, the dog did that, of course. Why don't we just keep it like that? That actually looks pretty good.
If you can hold it that way, fine. With Henry, I think
there you go. Yeah, that looks,
the bottom of it. You have to figure that out.
It's something different, Uncle, because we see a different portion of the background than we usually do. I kind of like it.
Well, we'll have to do something on the back of it because it's on top of Henry.
Well,
right now.
If it were that bad, he would move. I think
You're saying the dog's stuck underneath there?
Yeah, he's underneath it. He's trapped.
He's trapped.
He's trapped under there.
Because he came over to me.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
What kind of dog is Henry? I don't know if we've heard
King
of
Shepherd. King Shepherd.
It's more or less a really big German Shepherd.
It's a King Shepherd, German Shepherd, but it's a King Shepherd. Yeah. It's a breed of a King Shepherd.
Mm-hmm. It's Creative Accents is saying it looks good on camera and he approves of it. The shifting of the Uncle artwork, which he, by the way, created. He did painted that. So thank you again, Creative Accents, for that. Yeah.
Very, very good. So I got some questions about landers.
Oh, well, go ahead. That's his side.
We're in trouble, Uncle.
Yeah, that's his side.
Well,
telephone.
We got another call coming in.
All right, there's number 2.
We'll get right back to your question.
We'll get back to your question in a moment.
But when we get a call, we have to go to it. I'm sorry.
We have to go to this pool.
We will get to your questions momentarily. So hold them. We'll get right back. So, Uncle.
Who's on this line and away from?
Oh, Jimmy James.
Jimmy James. Oh, yeah, that's the fella. Well, we got you nice chairs. They were nice chairs, let me tell you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jimmy.
Are they comfortable, Uncle?
Don't know yet. We have...
we sat on them.
well, that's right. We sat on them. I'm confused here.
I think they are.
Yeah, they're pretty comfortable. I think they're comfortable than these that we're sitting on now. Yeah. I feel comfortable better on them than I do on this one. I can tell you that.
We will be using them when we get the new podcast set up because the desk is so high now that they're a little low. But we're gonna set the desk.
Oh, don't we have it pumped up though? Like we can pump it up.
Well, we will use those chairs when we're over there. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, we're gonna use those chairs.
Oh, yeah.
And we're gonna maybe get rid of this one I'm sitting in.
Very good.
Possibly, but he's.
So, yes, big thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Well, those work out next, they'll send the green screens to attach to them. Then you could have anything going on in the background.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy.
Will that change the back? Will that change the back of my sign?
It could. I could key out the green, and then we could put the LAX runway behind you, for instance.
Yeah. Well, we'll know the hour, and they all know the hour. So what's the point of just having my picture up? But they know the hour. See, my point is.
That's pretty good. But why don't we get right back to Robin because he had some important questions to ask us about landers. So, Robin, what were those questions?
Oh yeah, we'll have to get back. Wait a minute, Jim.
Well, is it? Do you know why it's called landers?
I know why it is called landers? That is a really, really good question.
Yeah, that's a good one for him.
That I don't know the answer to. I don't know where it got that name. I mean, I have to look that up.
It's not a UFO reference of any kind.
Is it?
Yeah, like a UFO landing. I've thought of that actually because that makes sense, right? Landers and the George Van Tassel story was that the UFO landed at the airport that he had there at Giant Rock, and he was of course brought up onto the craft, and the beings told him about this formula that would allow him to make the integratron more or less. So that's the story. So, but we're gonna have to look into that.
I only know a little bit of that story from what you told on a previous show there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But,
I mean,
sounds quite fascinating. Yeah.
This looks very funny.
Yeah, it's
this picture I've got out here.
We've got the image that you made, Robin, of Uncle and I as ninjas in the desert. We're showing that on the live stream right now.
I saw that. That's very nice. And with the I like what I did with the Chuck Ocelli effect tanks there with the speaker wheels.
Yes.
Give myself props.
Wonderful detail there. Wonderful detail.
But yeah, that kind of looks like is that similar? Is that similar landscape to where your new place is? This This desertscape.
Yes.
It looks like the tree.
It does, doesn't it?
A little bit, yes.
It
looks like the tree. Yeah, it looks like the tree in front of the house.
Is that like the tank in my favorite set of pictures that you made, the Ocelli effect tank that's like running over Alex Jones with the bullhorn? That deal?
That's right, yeah.
Oh, that is so awesome. I'm not looking at the live stream, but I love that picture. I'll be forever grateful for that thing. That's great. I love that. The Ocelli effect tank. It's hilarious. Yeah, sorry, anyway.
That would be a good sticker of some kind or something, too.
Yeah. And I love the video game explosion there. I'm adding in the video game imagery of the animated explosion for added effect. But yeah, you put that there in the image. A lot going on there. There's tentacles coming out of the Joshua tree from around it, I suppose. But yeah, I would say that landscape is very similar to what it looks like in Landers. Yes, that's basically
it does, because right now the tree, it looks just about like that tree, and it still has them up in the air flying that way. And the octopus on the other side looks like an octopus, but I can't see how it's not dropping.
Now on the live stream, I'm showing an image of Giant Rock. However, it has been digitally remastered, as they say. I kind of colored it a bit in.
That's like peyote vision.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that crazy rock. You should have seen so many cans. I mean, walking around looking on cans. Look at the cans. I started with them. Again, they're gonna take care of that.
It's a canned utopia there at Giant Rock, isn't it?
Utopia.
You make a lot of money.
Not crazy. Oh yeah. They make money. They go right there.
There's a bit of trash out there at Giant Rock, which is unfortunate, but I try to bring a trash bag when we go out there to clean it up a little bit because it always needs it. But it's a cool spot. There was like I said, Van Tassel ran an airport right there. His wife had a small diner, which was right there as well. The concrete pad, which is still out there, but the building is long gone. Apparently, Howard Hughes used to fly in the airport and eat pies at Van Tassel's wife's cafe. They used to hold UFO conferences there. And there was some weird dude that actually had a home that he built. He dug underneath Giant Rock and had a subterranean dwelling underneath the rock. I forget.
Really?
I forget. Fritz someone, that guy's name was? I forget.
Did they seal it up? Or is it still there somewhere?
It's an interesting story, actually. The police were keeping tabs on him. Apparently for the feds, he had an FBI record that was being kept tabs on by local law enforcement. And one day when local law enforcement showed up, he set off some dynamite, which he had, and he apparently died in that explosion.
Oh.
So that was the end of that.
And that sealed the home as well?
I don't know if it did, but it's definitely not there anymore, and it is sealed these days. But I assume that it could have happened that way. So a lot interesting history out there. Cool place. Right down the road from the house, we've got a four-wheel drive vehicle that we drive through the sand right to it, and it's a lot of fun. It's really good times.
Your neighbor on the desert?
Yeah. The house is really close to Giant Rock, so we can get right to it and just get out there. And then you could, if you drive out to Giant Rock, again, hopefully you're in four-wheel drive, you could keep driving and you're going to get to Johnson Valley, which is home to this famous race that they have called King of the Hammers, where they have these crazy off-road rigs that drive over the rocks and they race in the sand and stuff. And that's a big event every February that's out there in Johnson Valley, which is also a really nice place to drive out and go out in the middle of nowhere and camp and get some solitude if you want. It's a cool spot there too.
Yeah, I don't know much about that area other than that strange place that's all painted up. And actually, I watched. I think it was a Louis C.K. or no, not Louis C.K. Louis Theroux documentary where they went out to some strange camp kind of in that area.
You're talking about Salvation Mountain, right?
Yeah. And then
That's
there's that place where the people just can live on the land for free. And
Yep. That's down in the low desert by the Salton Sea. What do they call that? Yeah, there's a bunch of people that just live out there. Like you said. I know that when Aaron and Melissa Dykes came out this way, they stopped out there and they did some interesting documentary work of like the weird sculptures that people make out there. And they came out this way and they did that. It's a cool spot. And the famous spot there is Salvation Mountain, which is just these mounds and mounds of concrete, which are covered in paint. And they say stuff about Jesus and whatnot. And there used to be a guy that lived there, an old man, and he was featured in that movie. What's the one about the guy who ends up going to Alaska, the kid, to go camping in a bus?
Into the Wild.
Into the Wild. Yeah, that guy was in that movie. And that's the real guy that actually made Salvation Mountain. He's like explaining it in that movie. They basically did a documentary bit where they talked to him in that movie.
Yeah, I remember that part vaguely. Uncle, have you ever been to Salvation Mountain?
No.
We've never made it there. We need to get out there. That's again the Salton Sea. We need to make it out that way, Uncle. Pretty interesting.
Uncle, what is your favorite part so far about staying out in the desert there?
That rock.
You like the rock? You're drawn to the rock.
That rock, that big size rock they had out there.
It's good, isn't it, Uncle?
Yeah. Just take a picture of it, send it on Instagram, and boom, you'll see what we're talking about. Send it to Instagram. Send it to Instagram.
Yeah, I have a giant rock picture on Instagram somewhere. I might have to post another.
Post it up there. Let people see it.
Like, you got to have something. So you see that picture you have there, though? You got to have like a guy standing down at the bottom there for perspective, because it's kind of like, oh, that could be a rock, at the beach, just from a low angle.
If you go back in the Uncle Instagram feed, you scroll down, you will see a picture where my son is actually standing in front of the rock, pointing up to it, and he's there exactly as he said for scale, and you can get a sense of the scale of the rock.
Well, he's on there. You can do that. That gives you something to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy, have you ever traveled to the desert?
I've been to many deserts, but not the ones you're referring to.
Not those ones?
Wow.
I've been to, there's some deserts in Canada, actually. In Drumheller, Alberta. Southern Alberta, where they supposedly find all the dinosaur bones. Ooh. There's these sand dunes, they call them hoodoos.
Hoodoos,
and then there's all those kind of sandy areas, and I traveled there when I was a kid, and that was kind of entertaining. I still have a trilobite fossil that my mom bought that might be fake, not totally sure. But yeah, that's the only desert. I've had limited desert exposure myself.
Oh, wait, that's kind of in the area. How far are you from 29 Palms?
Oh, yeah, that's really close to Landers, yeah. 29 Palms is like more or less the next town over, for what that's worth.
Okay, I lied. I guess I have been to your desert, too.
Okay, you've been on base there. You've been to the base. Got it, yeah.
You've been there.
Was that in your UFO cover-up work, Jimmy?
How you know about that?
Somebody heard about something.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he travels
Chuck,
around.
Cut the feed, Chuck.
I got some other news. Besides, we have this conversation.
Yes, what is it?
Moscow Misk. He is dropping out. Going down.
Moscow Misk?
Yeah.
That sounds like a drink.
No, Moscow Misk. The man he had on the news.
Oh, Elon Musk?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. He's dropping. They're finally getting him, knock him down.
He's done.
He's done. He's going down.
He's finished.
Did he defect to Russia?
What? No. Trying to take over Instagram for stopping the information.
Oh yeah, his Twitter plans are
is dropping down, going down. Right. I'll let you know, everybody.
Got it.
Well, Aaron, as you were speaking last hour, not to bleed in too much, but Elon Musk is one of these guys deeply tied in with the military, congressional, industrial complex, and yeah, he's. But the one thing that you might have to capitulate to him is to get that Starlink satellite out in landers, so you guys can do freaking live streams at Giant Rock.
Does he have that?
Actually, yes. That they are doing. They are doing test runs of that program in the desert.
You gotta be kidding me! And all this time we're trying to tack on a telephone, and you can't get no information on the telephone. It's bad enough out here.
Well,
it's the same things happen. Needed for the telephones, or so on our planes. They got to need them on the planes.
They do.
Moscow Misk is working on it.
Well, we better get a thing out there and need some kind of clearing.
Well, we do actually have internet out there, and it has proved to be good enough for a live stream. So I'm not going to go with Moscow on this one.
Not Moscow. I'm trying
as much as that is tempting, and I know others who are signed up to do it. I don't know if they have it yet or not, but I have heard of it out there.
We need to put the AC on tonight. It is hot out here.
We've done a live stream from out there, so it works. And I'm hoping that maybe we can do the revolution from there this year. I'd like to.
Oh, there you go.
I'd like to do that.
When did I wasn't out there to do that.
Well,
where we coming from, sidekick?
This coming year, Uncle. This coming revolution, we could do it.
Man, he stopped streaming. Yeah, I'm making sure it works first.
Is it hotter in Landers or where you're at right now, Uncle?
For what? Telephones?
He's talking about just the heat.
The heat. Is it hotter there or hotter where you are right now?
If we went this weekend, boom, it'll be top notch on that. Talking about heat. About heat. That would be blown. It would be blown this section out of the water.
It's going to be 104 degrees there tomorrow. It's going to be a mere 99 degrees in Riverside here. So Landers has us beat this weekend for sure.
Oh, yeah. The thing that's good about Landers, one thing's good about Landers, and that is the breeze. They do got good breeze there.
It's been windy lately.
But it's been windy.
A little too windy.
Too windy, but still, it's cool. Wind.
It's a seasonal
wind, yeah.
Open desert breeze.
Yeah, something like that, and it's a comfortable thing.
Are we okay there, Uncle?
Henry's here. Henry's here. He's upset.
Actually, there is an aquifer underground, although they don't use that for the water supply. It's the same as Southern California's water supply in total. It's pumped from up north. Yeah. It's from like the runoff from the Sierras that comes from up north. And that's a problem in the state now where we're in a drought, don't have a lot of water. And Newsom is saying that they might have to do some restrictions coming up, which they've done in the past. Might have to do it again because there's water supply problems right now.
I'm still waiting on the Water Wars documentary from Yasha Levine that I put $15 into the Kickstarter like 4 years ago.
I saw what he had on that, and that looks fascinating. I had never heard of that.
It's been a while.
I had never heard of those people before, like that rich family that
the
basically
Resnicks.
The Resnicks. I'd never heard of them before he mentioned it in that. It's fascinating. They're the ones that
I've stopped buying pistachios and pomegranate anything and Fiji waters. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
anything by the Wonderful Company, Uncle.
They make them. Hold up a minute. Yep. They make those.
They do.
We don't get them from. We grow them from our trees.
We grow our own pomegranates.
Oh wow. Oh, you've grown your own pomegranates.
We have them in the yard here. Yeah, we have a couple pomegranate
We don't
trees,
need anybody. We got a problem over here.
You gonna be okay, Uncle?
No, I don't know, Henry.
Oh no.
Is he still alive under there?
Yeah, well, the dog is fine, and he's running away at this point. But
yeah, he's running away now. I got it on the ground.
It's okay. It still looks pretty
really
good.
Coming down.
I know.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
It's still pretty good.
So,
are
you moving out to Landers permanently eventually, or is that just a?
No, that's a person that, let's say, for example, wants to visit.
Right.
To rent out something, you go to these people here.
Oh, or it's like you're doing Airbnb
here, and they get the money for the renting part.
Yes, we are going to do that eventually. Honestly, I would like to live out there, but for now, yeah, it's going to be what Uncle says. We want it to be an income property. So
any listeners can go stay in Landers at the transition center.
Coming up soon. Yes,
coming up if they would want to, talk to the owners over here. These are the owners. Sidekicks the owner of it.
Get a hold of me if you're interested. And if you're going to have it set up, hopefully sooner than later. That's what we've been doing partially when we're out there, is getting it ready for all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, my wife and I we talk about moving out there eventually. So
moving?
One thing I was going to ask, if you're going to transplant all your cacti out there.
I already have quite a few cacti that I had on the side of the house here that I moved out there, getting ready for them to plant in the ground, and I have quite a few more yet to take out. So we're going to have a lot of cacti right now.
I want that one that Sam never took yet. I want to take that out there.
Oh, you want that euphorbia plant?
I want that out there.
Uncle has his eye on a particular plant.
Plant because it's been sitting there.
Fire sticks one or whatever, is it?
That is another form of euphorbia, but there's so many different euphorbias. The one that Uncle's talking about is a euphorbia amic, which is this thing that people confuse for a cactus because it looks like one. It looks like a columnar cactus because it has like these little
arms come out,
spine-like things on the edge of it, even. But it's a succulent from Africa, and it's an interesting.
Oh yeah, I've got a euphorbia trigona.
Oh yeah, those I know them. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's also not a cactus. I remember reading about that. Yeah.
We have the rubra form of that in our yard here, which is more of a reddish one, that as opposed to yours is more green.
People, you know what he does with these things? I take care. When he wants to say if somebody's interested in a plant, he cuts out the plant, sends it into the mail in the box. A size box, sends it in the mail, sends it to the person. Is that right?
Right.
I think I'm reading a comment from, I think, Ray, is it? Or no, wait. Yeah. I think it's the Ford Freak, and he's asking if I've taken a telescope out to the desert yet.
No, not yet.
He says, I bet you'd get some awesome time-lapse photos. I've looked at the stars in binoculars. It's awesome. We have a telescope I haven't used out there yet, but I've with my camera just on long exposure, I've taken some photos of the stars, and they look pretty cool. So we played around with that. I haven't yet
seen a flying star. I'm still looking for that.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen a shooting star?
I'm still trying to find one.
I'm searching for one. You say you've never seen one, right?
Never seen it fall down to the sky. Never seen it go down. I said, wait a minute, how does a star fly down? Well, everything it's flying up in the air. How does it go down?
These ones manage it.
I like to see how one does that.
I think a lot of times they're meteorites that burn up in the atmosphere, supposedly. So that's why they're flying down.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm no space expert. Let me tell you what.
Oh. We need Moscow Misk to tell us.
I did though. When I was like 10 years old, I was having a sleepover there with my friends on the trampoline, and we were looking up at the sky, and three lights from different parts of the sky came together in the triangle shape, and then disappeared, and we both saw it, and we're like, "What the hell was that?" So I've seen some type of identified flying lights in my time. That was the only one.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Uncle, do you have any unidentified flying object stories?
Not lately. Well, not recently yet. And so,
well, how about ever?
I saw one subject that we saw that we was driving one time. his wife saw it and thought it was one coming down, like a spaceship. So remember that time? So and we were driving, and you stopped the car. So, what was that thing?
You know who was behind that?
Your wife.
No, it was Elon Musk with his SpaceX garbage launching it. That's what that was.
Was?
Yes. Can we stop talking about him? I'm getting annoyed by him.
This is what they're talking. This is what this guy's talking about.
Yeah, I know
we continue to
talk
the conversation.
My wife thought it was a UFO.
Where
it was a UFO, and then it became identified.
Where in the world is Artisan Lope when you need him, Aaron? Jeez, I mean, we're going all Elon Musk here.
Yeah, where is he?
We got to bring him back on the show. We do.
But you know what? You know what? A fact that some people know, but others don't about Elon. His grandfather was the director of the Technocracy Party in Canada for 4 years before he moved to South Africa. So he's got that technocracy in his roots. It's all about it.
Bringing it to fruition now.
He's trying to build it.
I thought Musk's ancestors were pirates or something. It's sent to Australia, and then they hated them there too. So then they had to go to Africa.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't remember reading about that part of the story, but you might be right there, Jimmy.
It's believable.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I want to hear, do you have any interesting stories from 29 Palms? Do you have any recollections of the area? Any interesting stories from that?
I did a field exercise there for 2 weeks, and it was just hot and very unpleasant.
Yeah, if you do it in the daytime.
Were you there in the summer
we
months?
did it all.
What's a field exercise like? Just practicing in the desert?
Yes, in that case. Sometimes we go to different terrains.
Right. You didn't see any strange sightings out there?
Nope. The only time I did see a UFO was here in Michigan.
What did that look like?
What did that look like?
It was just a light in the sky, and I kept... The thing about it is it would interact with me. I'd flash my flashlight, and it would flash back. I pretty much would say it was a drone, except for the fact that it covered the complete distance of the sky in like a split second. So I don't know what kind of propulsion they had going on there.
I flashed my my genitals to a UFO one time, and then I woke up 3 hours later.
All right. And you were somewhere else, right?
Good UFO humor there, Robin.
And he wasn't there. He was in another area. Correct?
I was in another area.
Yeah.
I was in the hospital.
There you go. It was like the movie I'm watching right now.
Uncle, we're getting a lot of requests. I think Luca might have said this, and Creative Accents in the chat earlier, that we need to get some more events going on at Giant Rock.
But we haven't been out there.
We've been out there. What are you talking about?
Once.
We can go back.
I know we can go back. Well, right now we're in the process of doing these things, and then
I've been trying to camp there, but it is literally too windy. It's been too windy to set up a tent. I'd get blown away. It's like
you cannot blow. You can't blow a tent up. You can't do a tent up there.
I'm waiting for the winds to die down.
The wind's gotta die down, and the heat's gotta go down.
So when fall rolls around, we'll be just fine. We'll be just fine.
Well, when it gets to a point that it's able to go there and not be uncomfortable and come whole hot, messed up, and till we get to that point, to the weather.
Does it get cold at night?
It does.
It does get cool at night.
It does.
Man, it's better in the night to go at night to be do doing those things instead of doing things in the house.
Yeah, in the warmer months it feels very good because it's like, oh, good, it's cool now. In the cold months, in the winter, it gets cold, and you better have something. If you're camping out there, you better have a pretty good sleeping bag and whatnot. Is all I'll say, because it can be cold then.
Hypothermia out there.
Potentially.
Did
people ever climb on Giant Rock?
Yeah, people do climbing.
Yeah, they did climbing out there.
There's I'll bring up the image again. That's all crazy looking, but you can see that there's a big pile of rocks to the side of it, and people climb all over those. And there's some other large rocks that people have their climbing setups on, and I've seen them doing it out there. So it's one of the activities people do.
Yeah. This Giant Rock is it 100 feet tall, 200 feet tall?
7 stories tall.
7 stories tall.
That is. I'm not sure.
I was sitting right on top of it. It looked at least that size.
Yeah. You got on top of it?
No. On the side of it, on the bottom.
Yeah.
On the side of it, looking up. On the side of it to look up on it. Man, you know, like Superman when tilting buildings?
Right.
It feels something like that going off of one. I thought of that. The Superman activity when Clark Kent and stuff when he was in those shows. Remember those?
Yes.
I mean, that's what it reminds me of. I had something to remind me of these rock size things.
It is a giant rock. There's even more history to the rock that spans back from time immemorial. So it's just a really cool place, and I do plan on camping there when I can, and maybe we'll do some sort of event out there with camping with listeners if anybody's so inclined. Send me a message if you are, and maybe we can get some sort of camping trip set up out there or something.
Oh boy, if some of these people come to see and do that, that'd be a bunch of people for us then. Parties out there.
Maybe we'll try to get the aliens to give us a bonsai tree tutorial while we're out there.
Yeah, at least they'll show you how to do one.
That's what we really want. That could be good. So Creative Accents is saying Boulder covers 5,800 square feet of ground and is 7 stories high, approximately 30 meters or 98 feet.
That's about right. I figure it's right.
Lucam is saying, I'd love to come out there, but it will probably be a while till I could afford the trip. Okay, cool. Sounds good, Lucam. We'll see. So hopefully, we'll see. We'll see if maybe circumstances line up for everybody. So it's just an idea we're throwing out there for now. But Uncle.
Yeah.
We are we're getting toward the end of the show. Should we have our callers give shout outs tonight, do you think?
Yeah, I guess we could.
Is that a good idea?
All right, callers, shoot out shout outs for the callers, please.
So Robin, you called first, so why don't we ask you who do you want to shout out to tonight?
I'll just give one out there to Moscow Misk. Just don't fuck it up too bad. Pardon my French. Sorry about that, Chuck.
Well, I can give a gift on that. I'll let you have a gift on that one because I'm still mad at him.
Robin, but be careful.
But all right. I'm still aggravated.
But thank you for calling, and we'll talk to you again. And thanks for that posting that link that I used tonight on the show on Government Hour. That was very helpful.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad you absorbed it better than I did. I kind of read through it once, and then it was good that you were able to.
So me and you tied.
All right, goodbye, guys.
Take care, Robin.
Bye, again.
And now, Jimmy, who you got for shout outs tonight? Who you want to shout out to?
Oh, yeah, Jimmy.
Well, shout out to the fan club, of course. And, everyone out there in O'Chelly land. Have a good weekend. And later.
So a special shout out to the Jimmy James fan club is what he was getting at, and also to everybody who's listening on the O'Chelly.com radio network. So there you go.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Jimmy James.
Take care, Jimmy.
What are you doing?
How about this? Chuck, do you have any shout-outs you want to give? How about that?
You give up.
All right. Tell you what, I just dropped something in the chat room a minute ago, and I'll tell you, it's the first dad mug I ever got. I don't know if you ever got any of these, Aaron, but very, very cool. So I want to shout out to my daughter, who in a couple of days will be 23. But she sent me a present ahead of Father's Day, and it was a dad mug, and it was really cool with a nice note and everything. So shout out to my oldest and my only girl, Katie. Thanks.
Very cool. All right. Great shout out, Chuck. Awesome. All right. Uncle, do you want to shout out now, or do you want me to do
You do it first. I was on the last.
Okay. Well,
So
here we
the
go.
lineup is.
I'm going to shout out to Jimmy James, and thank you again for the wonderful gaming chairs. We will be using them in an upcoming broadcast. That was very kind of you. So thank you again. That leaves you, Uncle. Who are you shouting out to?
Everybody that around the world and the people that have listened, and especially the ones out of the country. Very interesting to having you guys a shout out. So hopefully, wishing there's a lot more listeners from other countries. But for them, that's okay, and that's my shout out.
All right, great shout out. Yeah, we always love it.
I always ask
that people are doing that.
I always ask for my people out of the country to give shout outs to, because every time they then a lot more maybe show up. You keep saying that. Yeah, I can say that over and over, and that's what I've been doing.
You got to shout out to them.
Yeah, and that's what I do to them. Because listening is more to listen to them and give an idea, maybe someday they'll call. But for now, for listening, I'll take it. I mean, for the,
we'll take
what I mean.
Thank you for listening, everybody. Yes, and if you're so inclined to call, we'd love to have you. And if you're international, remember, you come on to the show through Skype. So forget those phone charges. You get on here through your Skype instead.
We're going to need the AC on tonight, because I am
It's a little hot in here, isn't it, Uncle?
I'm sweating. I've been sweating my whole hour here.
Lucum saying shout out to San Pedro cacti. Yes, I'm assuming.
Who's that?
Lucum in the chat room saying that San Pedro cacti, for those who aren't aware, are hallucinogenic. They have mescaline in it, so it can be consumed as such. I'm not advocating for that. I'm not suggesting that anybody do that. However, it can be done. We have those cacti in our yard. I've never used it for such a purpose. I think it'd be...
We do?
Yeah, I don't think I'm ready for all that right now, Uncle. But the possibility is there. If I chewed on the cactus outside, things could get pretty crazy. So I think I better not do that for now.
All right, so I got to make it a condition that if I come out to Landers, that we both have to chew on some cactus together, right? And just see what happens.
Maybe we can make a nice tea.
First
sounds good.
Of all, we got to get a load of them. A load of them from the yard here.
It's done, Uncle. That part is done.
No,
that's in the bag. That's the easy part.
Yeah, no, that's the easy part.
That's the easy part.
That's out there. I still would like to know what kind of tea is different teas, too, to make different teas. In the fruit teas, I would like to know how many we can make.
The path of tea.
The path of tea. I would like to know.
Yes.
I'll go back, talk to a tea man and see what he knows about it.
Well, we're at the end here. I'm just going to remind listeners that we have Instagram and Twitter is @Uncle Podcast. So check those out. Lots of good content coming up. You're going to want to follow those. And we're UncleThePodcast.com. Live every Friday on Ochelli.com. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Uncle,
people.
bring us home.
There's our 264 episode. Bye-bye.